Peace be there, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video is going to be a recap of my first half of September. So this is going to be a bi-weekly rotation video. I was catching up on some family affairs at home. Haven't been getting content up over the past 2 weeks, but I'm looking forward to be getting the ball rolling again and sharing with you a lot of my experiences in my fragrance journey this first half of the autumn season. So September 1st, I had on my last weekly rotation video, wore September Morn from Byblos. I think it was a very apt and thematic fragrance for that day, and I think it's perfect for this time of the year. Very nice, light, and airy take on something similar to Noir. But moving into September, first off, I just wanted to do an honorable mention. This wasn't my fragrance of the day yet this month, but something I've been wearing to bed and relaxing with in the mornings as well, and just really falling in love with. This is a very beautiful fragrance from Julian Rasconnais, the perfumer, who is also the same perfumer who did Royal Oud by Creed. This is Russian Tea from Masque, Milano. This is just a absolutely stunning, very light sweetness on some very suede-esque, furry, smooth suede, and then a nice hit of black tea with a little bit of mint also to really make it fresh. So that mint and leather combination adds to this absolutely stunning example of something perfect for this time of the year. We're still nearing about 90 degrees where I'm at, but the weather is drying out. The grass I haven't really been having to mow because it's been withering away, becoming dry remnants. The leaves are starting to fall a little bit and change colors, so it's definitely got that autumnal feel going on, but still really hot outside, and I think this is a really gem of a fragrance for this time of the year. Looking forward to wearing that this week. Like I said, it's just new to the collection and been experimenting with it in the mornings and evenings, but really wanted to give that one a shout out. So starting off with Tuesday, this is Monday the 2nd. This is Voyage de Hermes Parfum. Beautiful fragrance from Hermes. The Eau de Toilette of this one I think is great for spring and summer. This one I think is awesome for spring as well as fall. A really ideal transitional fragrance. It's got this creamy sort of cardamom feel, another tea-based fragrance like the Russian tea as well, and it just gives off this very nice floral, effervescent, sparkly, yet creamy, spicy lemon combination with some florals, and that tea is very relaxing in here as well. Really hidden gem of a fragrance from Hermes. Not many people talk about it, but I think this is also great for that 90-degree autumn weather. Next, nice little fougere from Chanel. This is Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum. Again, this has a really nice big hit of lemon in there. Makes it really beautiful and refreshing for this high heat autumn season, in combination with that classical fougere element with a beautiful, beautiful lavender, done extremely well in here. Only takeaway from this fragrance, or detracting statement, I would say, is it's a little bit sweet for me. There's a vanilla in here that gets a bit doughy. Still a very gentlemanly, well-constructed, and high-quality fragrance, I want to say. I really admire it, but there are aspects about it that make it not my favorite in the genre. Wednesday, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, September 4th, Bergamask from Orto Parisi. Very simple fragrance, kind of like a mid of laundry detergent lavender, just very fresh, clean in that sense. There's some musks in here that get a little bit animalic though, that make this a little bit unique compared to other freshies. I want to say it does have that little bit of dirtiness in here that I appreciate. And then a well-constructed example of all the facets of bergamot, from the rindy nuances to the sour, tart, fleshy parts of the fruit, as well as the more zingy, zesty sort of sour elements going on as well. Just very well blended and put together fragrance. Nice, clean, and animalic at the same time, so I appreciate that juxtaposition with that one, and it's been a really good compliment puller and wears for a long period of time and projects really well. That is quite the namesake for the brand, I think. The only one that I've tried out from them, but I hear their Mega Mare is also somewhat of a big, loud kind of fragrance. Excuse me while I have some coffee here. Now, Dior Homme 2020, this is going to be my fragrance for Thursday, this beginning of September here. Kind of a classic go-to signature scent. A little bit simplistic, takes the iris out of the original Dior Homme, if you're familiar with that. This 2020 version goes a little bit more into something similar to like a Terre d'Hermes. It's got this powdery, nice, cedary example of a woody facet, that iso-y super nuance going on, so it's mass appealing in that regard. And then a nice little sprinkling of some citric facets over the top there. I believe there's some lemon and elemi resin going on that gives it that fresh kick. Just a nice, simple signature fragrance. I really appreciate it. I think that woody nuance is something that I would rather go into rather than the shower gel blue direction, even though you'll see the second half of this list here, I did wear a lot of blue fragrances. So Friday, I like to wear niche fragrances, so the first Friday in this September, I went with this one, which I picked up for a pretty good deal on Joma Shop. I tried to put it out in the community tab to pick it up for, I think Joma Shop actually raised prices like $10 on these after the initial posting. But I was actually able to get this for less than I paid for my Royal Oud from the same brand. This is Creed's Spice and Wood. So this came up on Joma Shop for like $270, and then with a $10 off coupon, I got this for $260, which is right about where the Royal Ouds are going at the best prices right now at discounters. I paid $330 from Fragbuy for my Royal Oud. So getting this for less than Royal Oud was a really nice kind of come up for me. I'm also pretty glad about that because I feel like I would rather pay more for Royal Oud than this Spice and Wood. I think this fragrance is a very nice, understated fragrance, perfect for the office. I think it's very inoffensive and well blended. It's like you can tell that the high quality ingredients are in here because of that pop that's going on from both the citruses and the cedar and then the green facets. I think there's some galbanum in here that just make this very, very something that I could wear day in and day out. Like I said, it's just got that inoffensive, easy breeze go feel going about it. It's perfect for this time of the year. It has that dryness going on. There's a little bit of an apple note as well in the top that I don't really get an overt sense of apple. I probably wouldn't be able to pick that up if I didn't know the note breakdown, but it does have this little bit more of a sour, fruity nuance going on than your typical citruses that make this have this very unique autumnal tinge to it, and I just think it just has that nice autumn in a bottle kind of vibe going on as well. Very glad that I was able to pick this one up for such a good price. Keep your eye out at Joma Shop because I think anything in that $260, sub $300 range is probably going to be a good deal for that, just because it's hard to come by it for less than $400 at discounters and over $600 full retail. So nice little pickup there. Really enjoyed wearing that one on Friday. Again, I could see that being a signature scent if I was not a collector. So Friday, I like to wear niche fragrances, but that was actually my Thursday scent today. Friday, this is what I was rocking. Another new one to the collection. This is Roja's Danger Pour Homme, and this is going to be a Roja clone of Guerlain Heritage, and this one goes a little bit more dark and patchouli forward than the Heritage that I have. I haven't tried the modern Heritages. I do have a vintage gold cap version of that, which is an EDT concentration, and it's got this little bit more of a bright, optimistic feel to it, a little bit more heavy shaving foam freshness, built around sandalwood and patchouli as well, but this one I think goes a little bit more heavy into those darker notes and has this little bit more of a chocolatey vibe around the edges than the Heritage does. That's my initial experiences with these, but this is an absolutely stunning fragrance, one of my favorites in my collection right now. It's just got that nice fougere quality, but this very classy, elegant, dark side to it as well, like I said, because the patchouli is really forward in here for me. Very diffusive. I do catch wafts with this quite often, and I forgot where I picked this one up and for how much, but I think I paid right around the $250 range. Maybe I think Fragrance Net had this one in for right around like $242 or something like that, which is about average price listing for these upper scale Rojas. But stunning juice. Picked this and the original Heritage up off of Ramsey's recommendations, so shout out to him. These were definitely some good calls, and very glad that I've got those in my collection. Okay, so that actually was, I wore this on Saturday and the Spice and Wood on Friday. So that means that we have Sunday for the first week coming up, and we rocked this one right here. Oud Royal from Ministry of Oud. This is a clone of Royal Oud from Creed, and does a really good job of matching the scent profile. You are going to take a hit on quality in terms of texture. I feel like texture is one of the places that clones tend to sacrifice quite often because of the lack of quality ingredients. The citruses in here don't have quite the sparkle that you get from Royal Oud. It has more of like a lemon head or that sort of lemony citric feel that you would get off of a candy like a Skittle or a Laffy Taffy, but That aside, if you just take away that little bit of sparkly nuance from the realistic citruses in the Royal Oud, this one comes extremely close, very satisfying. Nice little scent bubble with this one. I've had it macerating in my collection for about a year now. The juice color got a lot darker, so maybe there's some vanilla in here to kind of add that little bit of sweet touch around the dominant cedar accord, but this is a great clone in my opinion, and if you want to save like 90% and only pay $30 instead of $300 for Royal Oud, I think this is a great way to go, and one of my favorite autumn cheapies for sure. Definitely a high quality offering. I think this is Fragrance World. Looking forward to trying out a few of the others from this line. I hear that the Oud Satin is a really good clone of MFK's Rose Oud offering, so I'd be interested in trying that one out because I think that's also a kind of simplistic, overly done scent profile that I wouldn't mind picking up for the cheap instead of forking over the $350 to get the Oud X straight. Even though I already did that, it would just be nice to have had the option. Okay, so we're moving into the second week of this bi-weekly rotation here. Moving into Monday of last week. This is Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. So like I said, it's been about 90 degrees here, and I've been wanting to reach for things that are a little bit more, have some more depth to them, but also just still maintaining a fresh quality. So blue was kind of the theme of the second week here in September for me, and this one is a really nice kind of modernized take on Cartier Declaration. Removes some of the sweaty cumin aspects, keeps a little bit of that second skin feel with some well done animalic musks in here, very soft and pillowy, but it keeps in with cardamom that you would get from the original Cartier DNA, and just makes this a really beautiful, easy to wear, a little bit linear fragrance, but one of the few that I did get a compliment on. So this second week with the blue fragrances, they pulled in quite a few compliments. I don't think I got any compliments on this first week here with all these woody fougères, but that's just part and parcel, I guess, with that mass appeal going on. Speaking of mass appeal, this fragrance got me quite a bit of positive attention, which is bittersweet just because I'm not that big of a fan of this fragrance personally. It's just because it's in the Adventus realm. Keeps with that DNA. I do like this, I just don't love it, even though the people around me seemed to get really excited when I was wearing it, asking me what I was wearing. This is Tumi 19 Degrees, so women seem to really respond quite well to this, and like I said, it's more of like a mix between Tuscan leather and Creed Aventus, so you get that pineapple-y, smoky feel going on. The leather is kind of replacing the birch that you get from the original DNA of Aventus. And yeah, I actually do enjoy this a little bit, though. It's kind of like a little bit of a classed up take on Perry Ellis's America, which I did enjoy quite a bit over the summertime. And this one I've seen going for, I picked mine up for $75. I think the Perfume Spot is where I picked mine up at, but I've also seen some reputable sellers on eBay selling this for $75. I wouldn't pay more than $100 for this. I mean, I think the quality is kind of there for it to be worth right at 100, nothing more than that, but just because it's got that riff on an Aventus DNA, it's just something that I wouldn't put a lot of stock into. But like I said, it does garner a lot of positive attention. It's fairly high quality, and if you're looking for something in that Aventus DNA and you aren't satisfied with how many you already have in your collection, this is definitely one worth checking out for this autumn season. Okay, so Wednesday for the second week here, we had Versace Dylan Blue, just tried and true. I find it a little bit youthful, but I think most of the comments I've received when people have complimented me on this, women in particular, they say that I smell expensive when I'm wearing this. So I think there's a certain facet to the creamy tonka going on in here that gives it this smoothness that really gives it kind of like a refined textural feel. But overall, for me, this was just something I was wearing, like I said, because it's been like 90 degrees, but I wanted something with a little bit more depth. And this sort of nice shower gel, fig fruitiness going on in here with the smoky nuances and the rest of the fragrance scent profile. I think it was great dumb reach for this week. Speaking of more blue fragrances, I think this was my scent of the day for Thursday. This is Xerjoff 40 Knots. Really nice kind of ambery, sweet, and green marine salty fragrance, combining some very smooth woods, a little bit of a salty air, and some slight green touches that are reminiscent of a coastline. Nothing very aquatic but definitely something near the ocean and not watery, but definitely get that salty air vibe going on over the top of a really nice creamy ambery woods. Again, something that garners positive attention. I don't think I got a compliment on this one this week, but it has been one of my most complimented fragrances in general. And again, just kind of keeping in with that high heat but autumn vibe theme for this second week here. So Fridays, when I like to wear niche fragrances, did get a lot of positive attention on this one from women on Friday as well. I deliver for a restaurant, so I'm both working with female servers and the general public, interacting with different customers like per delivery. So I get a lot of field work in terms of like market testing, and this is one that has consistently done well for me with women. This is Apex Parfum from Roja. Haven't tried the Parfum cologne from this line, the Apex, but my general experience with trying the Parfum colognes and the Parfum 50 ml bottles is that these are always way better than the Parfum colognes. Not that the Parfum colognes are bad. I think if you can find those for under $150, they're a pretty good sort of pick up in that range, just because like designers are starting to go for that amount on discounters now, and it's way not worth it to get those in my opinion. But this one is a really great sort of nice, I don't want to say that coniferous, but it does have an outdoorsy, woodsy green feel going on to it. With this nice melange of a fruit salad up top, you get citruses, oranges, nice tart, fruity elements is going on all over the opening in here, and then a really nice masculine green, almost like polo green, masculine, outdoorsy woodsman scent profile as it begins to dry down. This one I do go a little bit nose blind too, so I do pick up the opening, but the rest of it is just diffusing around me quite often, and I get compliments on this many hours into the wear experience. So really powerful fragrance and really great masculine signature scent in my opinion. Definitely one worth picking up if you're got a smaller collection. I think that one is going to do the most work for you in terms of just being high quality, well received, and an enjoyable wear. Saturday, again, kind of going with that fruity, outdoorsy feel. Went with Enchanted Forest from the Vagabond prints. Really hope that they bring this back and it's not fully discontinued. The Vagabond Prince brand is owned by the people that run Fragrantica, if I'm not mistaken, and they have a few fragrances that they are still selling out of their website, but this one has been unavailable for years now. Really hard to find, which is a big shame because this is one of the best fruity fragrances that I've gotten my nose on. Again, similar to the Apex, they both have this nice fruity melange top into this sort of coniferous green, outdoorsy, woodsy feel that I think is perfect for that imagery for a autumn hike when you're walking out into like a pine forest and there's like some of that dryness in the air. This one's definitely a lot more on the fruity aspect than the Apex. Enchanted Forest, you do get this kind of slight pink fairy dust tonality to this fragrance, in addition to that nice green kind of Christmas tree forest vibe going on. A really stunning juice, perfumed by Bertrand Duchefort, who's my favorite perfumer. Really excellent stuff. It's got this nice kind of smoky feel going on as well to add to this mystery feeling, but not in a dark way. It's just very enchanting. An apt name to describe that fragrance. Really hope they bring it back just so other people can get to experience it. And one of my favorite presentations for any bottle in my collection as well. And then finally, ending off the Sunday for the second week here, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Nice, easy, simple. Thought I was going to be running out doing more errands than I did. I did stop at the grocery store for a few items. I did get some looks. Nobody complimented me on this one, but there was a few men that were kind of looking my direction, like wide eyes, like seemed to be wondering what I was wearing. But yeah, just wanted to kind of finish off that week with that bluish theme to go with the darker tones while also maintaining a freshness to combat the near 90-degree heat. I have to find out what's going on this week in terms of weather, but I think most of September is looking to be in the high 80s still, so kind of picking and choosing my fragrance wardrobe wisely moving forward here. Still hankering for some of the more darker depth in terms of my fragrances, more ambers, more smoke, more deep leathers, but still kind of dealing with this high heat. So might be looking at some more blue fragrances here coming up. And so Bleu de Chanel Parfum was the end of my bi-weekly rotation. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one. Take care.